Knoxville Raceway, are you ready?
I do believe they're ready. As we get ready to go, we'll send it back upstairs.
Caution lights are on. Field approaching turn number 3. Will go green at the stripe in turn number 4. Again, 10 laps the distance for the E main. Wayne Majeski and Scott Neitzel on the front row. Tim Monson and Mike Moore in row 2. Johnny Anderson and Terry Pletch in row 3. Shane Hunter and Ryan Jameson in row number 4. Scott Foken and Brian Carlson make up your top 10 starters. Transferring the top 5 finishers into the D main. Green flag flies were underway.
Down into turn number 1, Scotty Neitzel takes your lead. Off turn 2, now Neitzel down the back straightaways. The rest of the field works through turns 1 and 2.
Neitzel out in front now by 10 car lengths. Majeski running in second. Then it's Tim Monson up to third. Moore running in fourth. And right now the final transfer spot belongs to Johnny Anderson in the 7A.
As it continues to be, Scotty Neitzel leading his fellow IRA competitor Wayne Majeski. Tim Monson still running third as most of the drivers ride around the bottom of the speedway, chasing each other around the racetrack. Mike Moore running fourth, Johnny Anderson still in fifth.
Battle for second now heating up. Tim Monson right on the back bumper of Wayne Majeski's Barker's reconditioning car number 77M. Monson looks to the inside, but Majeski holds the momentum up on the top by the cushion, which is not very far up the track right now early on. So Monson unable to make it by Majeski, the battle for second. Meanwhile, Terry Pletch trying to reel in Johnny Anderson for the 5th and final transfer spot to the D main.
Well, Scotty Neitzel from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, now with about a straightaway advantage over the second place car of Wayne Majeski. Now we see Steve Cushman off the pace in turn number 2 as the Arizona driver coasts down the back straightaway.
Out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, Scott Neitzel sees the cross flags. We're halfway home. 5 laps down, 5 to go in the E-Main at the 42nd Mopar Parts Knoxville Nationals. It's Neitzel leading it, Wayne Majeski second, Tim Monson third, Mike Moore fourth. Johnny Anderson rides in the 5th and final transfer spot as the leader begins to work traffic out of turn number 4. Monson able to get close to Majeski in the corners, but Majeski with a little more power getting off the turns, being able to pull away by about 3 car lengths each time they roll down the straightaway. Neitzel, meanwhile, continues to work the traffic to the high side of Robendahl out of turn number 2.
As Neitzel now has gotten by Robendahl, now he goes to work on the 4KS at Chris Spitz as he tries to put some cars in some distance between he and Wayne Majeski.
Bob Altmaier nearly getting together with Ryan Jameson. Jameson off the pace. We've got a car spinning to avoid him. Gathers it back up. That looked like the 20 of David Murcott. And Altmaier way off the pace in turn number 4. He's up on the high side of the speedway. I don't think he's, Jameson off the pace on the high side of the speedway, and that will bring out the caution flag here on the front straightaway. Scott Neitzel paces the field out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air and we're back to racing action.
Scotty Neitzel leads it down into turn number 1. Tim Monson in tow, Mike Moore, Terry Pletch, Brian Carlson, your top 5 cars. As we saw David Murcott get a lot of shape, now straightens it out down the back straightaway as he gets by the 1FX of Scott Foken.
Murcott to the high side of the speedway, makes his way around Shane Hunter, closing in on Dr. Bob Altmaier, but still out of a transfer spot. The white flag is flying. We've got a half a mile to go in the E-Main. Scott Neitzel leading them down the backstretch. Altmaier closing in on Carlson for the transfer spot.
As off turn 4 to pick up the E-Main, that'll be Scotty Neitzel. Tim Monson second, Mike Moore third, Terry Pletch fourth, and taking the transfer position, the 18 of Brian Carlson.
Well, John Lambert, scheduled to start outside of row number 4, has elected to go to the tail in this one. Lambert's dropping toward the back of the pack. We're going to try it out of turn number 4, looking for 12 racing laps, transferring the top 3 finishers to the C-Main. Green flag is in the air. I don't think that's going to have a trouble. Big trouble on the front stretch. Car upside down violently into the wall. Bart's a wicked-looking flip down the front stretch. Tim Monson involved as well.
The green flag will be coming. Oh, Kevin Fry, look out!
Walraven and Fry got together, and the caution flag will be waving once again. Making that long journey slowly along the inside of 3 and 4 toward the back of the pack.
Randy Martin bringing him around turns 3 and 4. We want to go clean and green. This time by the white line. The green flag is out. Here we go.
Randy Martin gets the jump out of turn number 4 to take the lead. Chris Walraven right behind him. Larry Pinniger in the final transfer spot as Linton Jeffrey makes the move around Leonard Lee for 4th down the back straightaway.
Still racing in that 4th spot. Leonard Lee riding the cushion, which is about the middle of the racetrack as they work off turn 4. Linton Jeffrey now falls in line, but your race moves up to the 2nd spot.
Larry Pinniger down low, Walraven on the cushion. They battle side by side with Walraven gaining the advantage out of turn number 2.
Single file, now the top 3 spots race into turns 3 and 4. Your leaders working the high side of the racetrack off turn 4.
It's Randy Martin leading Chris Walraven by 0.8 of a second, completing lap number 2. Larry Pinniger and Leonard Lee. Linton Jeffrey rounds out the top 5. Again, the top 3 drivers move on to the C-Main tonight.
Peter Murphy now moves up into the 6th spot as they race down into turn number 3. He takes the low grooves through turns 3 and 4.
Murphy trying to gain ground on the field, but he lost the spot there on the low side of the speedway as the 11J of Jeff Johnson makes the move around around Murphy.
Kevin Fry also on the move up into the 9th spot. He has passed 9 cars.
Linton Jeffrey now down to the low side of the speedway, gets by Leonard Lee. Jeffrey moving up into the 4th spot, still 1 position away from a transfer as Randy Martin can see lap traffic in front of him down the front stretch.
Randy Martin still your leader as they race into turn 2. Walraven running in that 2nd spot, trying to reel him in down the back straightaway. Larry Pinniger a good bit back as they race toward turn 3. Now Walraven changes his line, runs the middle of the racetrack down the front chute.
Walraven now catching up to your leader as they approach lap traffic, has taken 0.4 of a second off the lead. Walraven hustling down the backstretch now, trying to get by the Diamond Pet Foods 14M of Randy Martin.
Well, also Linton Jeffrey on the move, knocking on the door now of Larry Pinniger, side by side racing off turn 4 for the transfer.
Jeffrey makes the move up on turn number 4 as Pinniger got up over the cushion. Linton Jeffrey now into the final transfer spot. Leonard Lee trying to catch up with the 11L of Pinniger as the race for the lead continues out of turn number 4. Martin trying to hold off Walraven.
Randy Martin still showing the way, pulls up behind the lap car, Brian Carlson. Walraven a car length back off turn 2, looks slow down the back chute, falls in line, sets up Martin who ducks low in turn 3.
Martin down low now, Walraven up to the cushion, side by side, the battle for the lead out of turn number 4. Martin holds on down the front stretch.
Well, Martin has to change his line now, Johnny, as he goes in low into turn 1, slides high in turn 2. Here comes Walraven charging off the bottom of turn 2.
Walraven down low, Martin up to the cushion, Linton Jeffrey trying to get next to them as well as the 56 of Walraven bobbled in the middle of 3 and 4, giving Randy Martin a little bit of breathing room.
Not for long as Martin races into turn number 2 down the back chute. Linton Jeffrey looks to the inside of Walraven as a race for second. Lap car slowing in turn 3. White flag will wave this time by.
One more lap around the half mile here at the Knoxville Raceway. Martin, Walraven, and Linton Jeffrey are top 3 in transfer spots right now. Leonard Lee a long way back, but Walraven not giving up on the lead. He chases Martin down the backstretch. Caution flag flying on the speedway.
Well, the caution flag coming out for the 1WM of Tim Munson, stopping over in turn 4 as the checkered flag was coming out.
They race out of turn number 4 down to the cone.
The 2-time 360 champion brings him off turn 4 to the green flag, heads down to the bottom side of turn 1, slides through the middle of the racetrack. Oh, Walraven all out of shape down the front chute.
Chris Walraven is off the pace. He was running second, is dropping back quickly. Mechanical problems on the 56 car. Linton Jeffrey now up to 3rd, and Leonard Lee looks like in the up to the 3rd and final transfer spot. Jeffrey running second. White flag flying, final trip around the Knoxville Raceway. Martin leads them down the backstretch. Jeffrey and Lee in transfer spots. Peter Murphy 4th, but running out of time.
Checkered flag will wave this time by as Randy Martin brings it off the high side. The Diamond Pet Foods car number 14 is your winner. Linton Jeffrey running second. Leonard Lee in that 3rd and final transfer. Peter Murphy coming home 4th. Larry Pinniger 5th. Bob Bennett running in the 6th spot.
Jeff Swindell and Brent Antill pace the field into 3 and 4, looking to be side by side at the stripe. Doug Clark waves the green flag. The C-Main is underway. They go side by side out of turn number 4 with Jeff Swindell dropping down to the bottom of the speedway to take the early lead. Antill running in second. Car into the wall in turn number 2. It's the 02X of Randy Anderson into the wall in turn number 2, and the caution flag will fly. Green flag waves once again, and again they go side by side out of turn number 4. Swindell down low takes the lead. Josh Higday tries to make the slide job around Brent Antill, can't pull that off. Justin Henderson gets by Higday for 3rd in the final transfer spot.
Down into turn 3, Brent Antill looks to the inside. Jeff Swindell, they go side by side, the 2 red cars down to lead lap number 1. It's going to be Jeff Swindell.
Craig Kinzer toward the back of the pack got together with Michael Dupuis, drifted up over the cushion, saved the car, but lost about 6 spots. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, Jeff Swindell continues to set the pace in the Goodson Farms entry with Antill and Henderson in tow. Battle right now side by side for 4th. Car spinning in turn number 3. It's Todd Hepner sideways, and the caution flag will fly. Caution lights are out. We get set to return to green flag action. Jeff Swindell leads them out of turn number 4, and we are back underway with the C-Main.
Brent Antill once again goes to the top, trying to run down Jeff Swindell down the backstretch. Justin Henderson still holds 3rd. Meanwhile, the battle for the 5th spot heats up as Chad Meyer goes to the inside of John Egan off turn 4.
Egan and Meyer still wheel to wheel out of turn number 4. Give the spot to Meyer. Now tracking down Josh Higday in the 24H machine. Meyer down low, Higday up on the cushion. They're wheel to wheel and side by side down the backstretch.
Meanwhile, your drivers that started alongside each other in the 6th row, PJ Chesson and Don Drow Jr. are starting to move their way through the field. As Chesson now up into the 7th position, Don Drow Jr. into 8th as they try to make their way into the top 3 spots.
Chesson looks to the low side of John Egan, can't make the move out of turn number 2, continues in pursuit down the backstretch. Now Egan goes low trying to get by Higday. Chesson down even further on the speedway, makes the pass of Egan out of turn number 4, Chesson up to 6th.
Your leaders continue to separate themselves from the field as it continues to be Jeff Swindell, Brent Antill, Justin Henderson, your top 3. Chad Meyer now running in the 4th spot.
PJ Chesson down low, pulls even with Higday, but can't make the pass out of turn number 4. He's going to try the low side again in 1 and 2. Higday up on the cushion. Chesson now cleanly by Higday down the back straightaway. Higday coming back at him, though, toward the end of the backstretch into 3.
Down the backstretch now, you see the 1S, so Larry Ball Jr. as he slows now, brings the car to a stop. As yellow on the backstretch as Larry Ball Jr. got the car sideways up over the berm and then brought it to a stop on the back straightaway.
R19 of Henderson into the pit area. He gives up a transfer spot. Definitely problems with the Owens Corning fiberglass machine. 7 laps complete, 8 to go in the C-Main.
Down the front stretch they come. Jeff Swindell leads him into turn number 1. Brent Antill goes right back to the cushion. Everybody else goes to the bottom as PJ Chesson tries to run down Chad Meyer. Josh Higday now closes in on Chesson down the backstretch into turn 3.
Higday up on the cushion, Chesson down low. Meyer drifts to the cushion. Chesson's going to slide by him in for the final transfer spot on the front straightaway.
Chad Meyer tried to go back to the bottom. Chesson blocked that move. Meyer got a little out of shape, allows Higday now to close up as Higday goes to work on Meyer for the 4th spot. Don Drow Jr. now throwing his hat into the mix.
3-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's Meyer and then Drow up into 5th. Higday back to 6th. Higday with a big slider on Drow. Drow turns it to try to drive back underneath him and does just that out of turn number 2.
Meanwhile, the battle for 2nd now heating up as PJ Chesson looks to the inside of Brent Antill. Antill still holds him off, but Chesson goes back to the bottom in turn 1.
Antill riding the cushion, Chesson down low, goes side by side out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Antill with a slight advantage entering 3 and 4 again the same way. Antill up on the top, Chesson down low, side by side out of turn 4. In fact, nearly getting together exiting turn number 4. Antill holds the spot. Drown all over Chad Meyer.